Imagine planning the perfect bank heist only to hand the teller your home address mid-robbery. Sounds like a bad movie? Welcome to The IQ Trap, where we celebrate the world's most confident idiots. Today's story isn't just about a crime, it's a masterclass in the psychology of pure stupidity. Meet Charles Robertson. In 2026, he walked into a Virginia bank with a plan. A plan that was, well, technically a self-report. See, Charles wrote his demand note on the back of his own paycheck. Yes, with his full name and address printed on the other side. In psychology, we call this inattentional blindness. When the brain focuses on one big goal, it ignores the obvious details right in front of it. As the police arrived at the scene, they weren't expecting a puzzle, they were expecting a comedy show. Think about it. Most criminals spend weeks wiping fingerprints and wearing masks, but Charles? He basically sent the precinct a calendar invite to his own arrest. Within minutes, the investigators were staring at his paycheck, wondering if this was a prank. But it wasn't a prank, it was a pure lack of situational awareness. This leads us to our next case in the Hall of Shame. A shoplifter who called the store to ask if they found his lost wallet. Yes, you heard that right. He stole a pair of sneakers, dropped his wallet in the aisle, and then called the manager to check the lost and found. These aren't just accidents, they are cognitive glitches, where the brain focuses so hard on the gain that it completely forgets the risk. It's a recurring theme in the history of the world's most confident losers. Why do these things keep happening? Well, it all boils down to a psychological phenomenon called the Dunning-Kruger effect. In simple terms, it's when someone is so incompetent that they don't even have the skill to recognize their own incompetence. They live in a bubble of false genius. Take the bank robber we mentioned. In his mind, he was the protagonist of a high-stakes thriller, a mastermind who could outsmart the system. But in reality, he was just a guy with a paycheck and a very bad idea. This disconnect between perception and reality is what makes these stories so viral. We laugh because we see the trap that they walked right into. It's a mix of secondhand embarrassment and a dark kind of humor that resonates with everyone. As we move deeper into the criminal underworld of 2026, we see that high-tech security isn't always the hero. Sometimes the biggest weapon against crime is just the criminal's own brain tripping over itself. So why do these IQ traps happen? It's not that these criminals are born without brains. It's a phenomenon called cognitive overload. When the brain is flooded with adrenaline during a high-stakes crime, the logical part, the prefrontal cortex, literally takes a vacation. You see, Charles wasn't just being dumb, he was a victim of his own biology. His brain focused so hard on the big score that it ignored the most basic detail, his own identity. This is the same reason why you might walk into a room and forget why you're there. But for Charles, that forgetfulness cost him 20 years. We laugh at these stories because they remind us of our own fragile human ego. We've all been the smart guy who realized too late they were doing something incredibly stupid. The only difference is our mistakes usually don't end up on a police report. As we wrap up today's journey into the Hall of Shame, there's one final takeaway. Intelligence is a powerful tool, but without self-awareness, it's just a faster way to get into trouble. If you're ever planning a masterstroke, whether it's a career move or just a prank, remember to check for the obvious. Don't let your ego build a trap that your brain can't escape from. The world is full of geniuses who are too smart for their own good, and the IQ trap is always open for the next volunteer. Stay sharp, stay aware, and most importantly, stay humble. Because the moment you think you're the smartest person in the room, you've probably already walked into the trap. Thanks for watching this analysis of human error. I'm your host, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't be like Charles. Stay smart or stay trapped.